I I really don't know how to start this one. So we're just gonna get into it. Hey everyone, my name is Christian Verstappen and I have a lot to say about many things. I want to get into this horrific event. I don't know why I have this in. This horrific event in which Covenant Christian School in Nashville, Tennessee, experienced a mass shooting. And you'll notice the article here that I have up on screen and the headline. Transgender killer targets Christian school. Technically, this is true. But there's a reason that it's worded like this. There's a reason that image of that little girl on the bus, terrified, is being used, and the image of the murderer is here as well. The person who actually posted this took the liberty to put a little thing over their face, which is good because if they didn't, I was going to have to, because I refuse to give these people that want to go out in a blaze of glory the infamy that they want. Transgender rights in the LGBTQ plus community has been under attack for the past several years now in the United States in many different ways. And these events, these stories, these headlines are fuel for the alt-right to continue their push and for many to justify their hatred and bigotry of trans people. Now, of course, there have been, articles on this and everything. They're about what you'd expect. Oh, we're horrified for the victims. This is what happened, this horrible event, We've identified the suspect, so on and so forth. They have a manifesto, as this headline even says, right? Manifesto leads to 6 dead, including 3 young kids. The cops read out some of the victims' names, wish their well wishes. You know how this shit goes. If you're like me, you've grown up with this shit. And you've pretty much become desensitized to mass shootings. Kind of, God, I remember just a couple months ago when there were like 3 back to back, I just kind of thought, yep. I literally looked at the news app on my phone or whatever. I got a notification. I was like, oh shit, there's another mass shooting. Damn. Because it's gotten that bad in this country that I and many others look at this like the change of weather. Yeah. It's going to snow if you live in a place where it snows. Yep, there's going to be a mass shooting somewhere. But with these instances, of course, we had President Biden come on and say it was sick and heartbreaking, and again, you know this shit, right? But what makes this special? First of all, I really want to take a look at this. So far this year, there have been 89 U.S. school shootings Defined as when a gun is fired on school property. 89 in a year. We have a problem. In 2022, there were 303 such incidents, the highest of any year in the K through 12 school shooting database, which goes back to 1970. I grew up in the 2000s, and I remember having school shooting drills. I also remember in second grade my first experience with an active shooter on campus. I remember how we all cowered under our desks, and I thought even at that time, what the fuck is this going to do? Even as a kid, I think many others were thinking, what are these desks going to do? What's the point of this? We were fortunate to not have actually lost anybody. Because while the person was active and they had intent to be a shooter, they weren't technically an active shooter. They never fired the gun, at least not in the school. But they were chased down by the principal we had at the time and arrested. Not by the principal. The cops chased him down too. It's not the point. The point is, I've experienced this concept before, but I've never had to deal with the loss, the pain, the fear of sending your kid to school where you expect them to be safe, not knowing if they'll come back because some idiot with a death wish wants to go out in a blaze of glory. Understand the issues here that actually caused this trans person to commit the horrible crime that they did are largely systemic and can be addressed with systemic issues or systemic solutions like common sense gun regulation, better mental health and care, and not demonizing trans people, but assisting them. However, while many of us can look at this and understand the fact that this person was trans is just a small piece, you bet your ass the right is running with that part specifically. And that's why this headline is specifically what it is. This reminds me exactly of how Muslims were targeted after 9/11. Headlines and all. Chilling to say the least. Exactly. This is dehumanizing language and rhetoric. Not a person who is trans. Not just killer. Right? Not mentally ill, not anything like that. Just none of that. No, we have to have transgender here. And Christian school. Why? Well, this does two things. One, it furthers the narrative that transgenders are out to get everybody. And it furthers the modern day satanic panic that we're in. And it targets Christian school. Well, that furthers the Christian persecution complex. One that I am all too aware of because I grew up believing myself. This is exactly how the media talks about white people right... Wait, what? This is exactly how the media talks about white people right now in any crime where the offender is white and the victim is a minority. They even do this racism against Asians. What the hell? Oh, this person's saying... Oh, they're like, no, it's actually white people that are... No, it isn't. Do we need to bring up the meme again of the... All right, let me find it again. Where's that meme? Oh my god, is this real? Okay, we don't even need the meme. With attempted murder, yeah, look at this. We don't even need the meme. This is the kind of headlines they use for cis white people, cis white men. Yeah, how can even one person in America claim we're not racist against POC who commit minor crimes, get mugshots or photos of them at their worst in the headlines, and white people who murder children get pics like this? Exactly. So you can kindly fuck off with that bullshit. Huh. 49 million instances of Nazis shooting up schools, queer communities, and queer events. Sleep. One instance of a transgender person committing a shooting. Anger, news, stop the presses. Siren alarms. Yeah. Make no mistake, they will use this to justify hatred and bigotry against trans people, broadly speaking. Where was the one? We've got to feed that Christian persecution complex, exactly, yep. Breaking news. The deceased, well, that doesn't really matter. The deceased mass shooter of the Christian school in Nashville has been identified as hashtag trans. Why do you think they put hashtag trans, by the way, in the Twitter post? Because this is originally a Twitter post. Why do you think they put it's so when you're searching trans, this is something that comes up? Anyway, identified as a trans person, who we are not going to put the name of. 3 children and 3 staff were murdered. The shooting comes amid a surge in far-left death threats in Tennessee over the state banning the medical transitioning of minors. Shh. Okay, I forgot to censor out that name. My bad. Anyway, their art page featured LGBTQ plus minus? Is that like a dig? Like, oh, they're not plus, they're minus. Whatever. Themed work. Okay. They were a graphic illustrator and graphic designer. Okay, who cares? How does any of this lead to the horrible crime that was committed? It doesn't. But it doesn't matter. Because they don't care about the crime. They care about using it to further their hatred of trans people. And that's exactly what the right is doing. Okay, I guess I'm not censoring their name after all. Censored their face, at least. Fucking... Never mind. Nashville school shooter sent these messages to a friend at 9:57 a.m., minutes before first 9/11 call at school at 10:13 a.m. The friend who received 3 messages called the sheriff's office, police department, minutes after receiving these messages to alert them. So basically, that post I made on here about you, that was basically a suicide note. I'm planning to die today. This is not a joke. You'll probably hear about me on the news after I die. This is my last goodbye. I love you. See you again in another life. They sign their name. Person, you have so much more life to live. I pray God keeps and covers you. I know, but I don't want to live. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to upset you or get attention. I just need to die. I wanted to tell you first because you are the most beautiful person I've ever seen and known all my life. My family doesn't know what I'm about to do. One day this will make more sense. I've left more than enough evidence behind, but something bad is about to happen. Motherfucker, just stop with the main character shit. You were about to go commit a horrible crime, and you did. I hope people don't rationalize their actions no matter what turns up in the evidence. Nothing justifies murdering little kids in cold blood. Nothing. 100% agree. Being suicidal is one thing. Planning to go out in a blaze of glory, killing grade school kids is the most disgusting, narcissistic shit imaginable. No sympathy for this person no matter what comes out. One day this will make sense. Fucking hell, cryptic garbage. Yeah. I've left more than enough evidence behind. What the holy hell? What in the holy... Is it alternate reality game? What is ARG? It's like... Yeah, it's like alternate reality game or something. It's like a real life video game is basically what it's supposed to be. You mean to tell me the school shooter at main character syndrome? I'm shocked, yeah. Oh no. This is a joke because Matt Pat from Game Theory sent a bunch of people on an ARG quest in real life, and nothing like this happened, but people were basically just harassing like store owners and stuff. It was kind of fucked up, but anyway, not relevant. FYI, this is the direction the right-wing media is running. RE Nashville shooting. If true, prepare for a new cascade of anti-trans rhetoric and violence. True. I'm a trans woman. My parents texted me to warn me of this. I'm scared for myself and other trans people. All it will take is this one incident to justify the next 5 years of anti-trans bills. Conservatives are absolutely going to milk every drop of this, and it will work. 100,000 fucking %. What pisses me off is all that it takes for these scumbag Republicans to pass these bills compared to all the hundreds of lives taken by guns with zero gun legislation. Yeah, they're oops. Didn't mean to go to your channel there, buddy. Or your Reddit page, whatever. Was this the one that said... No, that's not the... I'd start name dropping as many as one humanly can remember, then name drop. I can name 5 more out of mass shootings done by hetero white males. Maybe it's time to alert them as the most dangerous archetype to any that dare try to pull that beware of trans garbage. This is a moral panic. They eventually stop to only be replaced by another. Don't give bad faith actors an inch. True. Things are going to get real bad, yeah. We have Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene with takes like this. How much hormones like testosterone and medications for mental illness was a transgender Nashville school shooter taking? Everyone can stop blaming guns now. I don't really know how she talks. I don't care. I just wanted to make her a bitch because she's a bitch. Let's be real. Yeah. No, you're right. Okay. I always hated the argument of like people. Okay. I always hated the like overly anti-gun liberal people because while it is true that guns are the tool that are used to commit the crime, it is also true, at least to an extent, that, you know, guns don't kill people, people kill people. I know that sounds very... That's something the right likes to run with a lot and basically use that as an excuse to keep guns, but my point is more so that it's not guns' fault, like, for existing or anything, that these things happen. It's poor regulation on them that gives people who shouldn't have access to these so that they can go and commit these awful crimes. But of course, people like MGT, because I mean, what is she really saying here? What she's saying is, oh, it's the hormones, it's trans people, it's furthering the trans panic. That's what all this is about. Here we are. Yeah, this is the one. Minorities will never be allowed to mess up. Only the dominant cultures get that privilege. This shit's getting tiring. biting my nails, hoping that one of my people don't say or do some dumb shit, because I know these fuckers will take it and put a magnifying glass up to it as it means anything significant. Yeah. This right fucking here. 100,000%. Yeah. People that are constantly under the eye of scrutiny like this, yeah, they don't get that privilege. And it's fucking awful. I've talked about this before, but I know trans people personally. I've known trans people throughout my life. My siblings are trans. I have a trans brother and a trans non-binary sibling. I'm terrified for them. I really am. You should be too. No politics. After Uvalde, we need to grieve. Now is not the time for politics. Ooh. After Covenant, the shooter was mentally ill, trans radical Antifa. Yeah. Sad that it really is this simple. It really is. This is from an actual Crowder fan. Yeah, Louder with Crowder. Yeah, it's from a Facebook page, a private Louder with Crowder Facebook page. It's time. Put the trans people in camps, all of them. No more of this nonsense. I realize this is just a regular person. This isn't a bill being passed. This isn't like actual camps being built or anything like that. This is complete genocidal rhetoric. Like, entirely. If it saves just one life. With 4 of these. Could be 2 likes, 1 heart, 3 likes, 1 like, 3 hearts. Doesn't fucking matter. Disgusting piece of shit. Yeah, 100%. They want you dead. If you don't conform to their ways, they want you dead. David Pakman had a good tweet. It's very surprising that there would be a mass shooting at a Christian school, given that lack of prayer is often blamed for these horrible events. Is it possible they weren't praying enough or correctly, despite being a Christian school? Food for thought. No, in all seriousness, though, God, I remember I said this one time. We were talking about, this was in high school. I was in like 11th or 12th grade. And we were talking about the horrors of school shootings and stuff in general and what can be done about it, all these different things. I unironically said, it's because prayer isn't allowed in school anymore. I unironically said that. I unironically believed that. Now, there was a long time where I didn't really, I didn't really have standing for my political beliefs like that. I just kind of parroted what I was told, primarily by my dad. And I'll talk about those kind of things more specifically in the future, but this isn't about me. I just wanted to mention that I've believed that awful take as well. Not his. His is a very good take, mocking that concept, right? Banger tweet, yeah. Hackman's Reddit atheist dark. Let's go. Here's the lovely gays against groomers. Instead of being given the help they desperately clearly needed, this person was instead affirmed in their belief they were a boy. We don't know the details of their transition or at what age it started, but it was clear from photos that they were on testosterone. It is necessary to... What is it necessary to? Actually, you know what? Let's find out. What is it necessary to? I want to see the rest of that. Gays against Don't take this the wrong way, Musk. I'm not trying to fuck with these people. Yada yada yada. No. What? Oh, okay. Release the manifesto. I mean, honestly, I would like to see the manifesto because I was originally gonna wait to see wait till the manifesto came out or something, but I'm seeing how horrible this is already, and I want to jump on it and give my take before the really brain dead ones start coming out. I understand, even though I don't have, you know, many followers and subs. Jesus, followers and subs right now. This kind of shit is completely intentional, by the way. I'm not gonna go on it too much because but they do the. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is what I was looking for. Okay, they do this shit because that image that you just saw that I scrolled past. These people, and this is kind of what a lot of this comes down to as well. They take these really bad examples of people and try to paint with this broad brush and say they're all like this. You can do this with anything. People do this all the time. People, anti-trans people do this with trans people and LGBTQ people in general. Misogynists do this with men. Misogynists do this with women. Misogynists do this with men. Racists do this with whatever they're racist against. Oftentimes, obviously, it's white systemic racist people, but you'll get it with all types of racist people. It's it's really easy to take a few things like that and push this narrative. And when you have something like this, fucker just handed them this bullshit on a silver platter. Now, let's read the rest of that. It is necessary to have the conversation about what these cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers are doing to young people that are suffering from mental health issues. Our hearts break for the 3 children who were senselessly murdered in Nashville today, as well as the adult victims too. Sure. Access to guns was a key problem. Yeah. I really wish we had the ability to dislike tweets. Goddamn. Yeah. From 2015 to 2019, how many people on average were killed by rifles? Yeah. What? Oh, this is that whole only a good guy with a gun can stop a bad guy with a gun? Yeah, okay. I expect gender critical. Oh, God. Do we know they were affirmed? Do we know? All right. You get it. Okay. I want to talk about a very dark possibility here. Where was it? Don't put the trans people in camps. All them. No more. No more of this nonsense. This kind of talk. This is genocidal. We had what's his face. He's not important. Michael Knowles. Talking about how we need to eradicate transgender people from all public life. What the fuck do you think that means? What do you think things like this mean? Many people are going to get angry with this, but I don't really care. This is the parallels that I'm seeing. If you're mad, stay mad. I'm not saying that this was orchestrated like the Night of Broken Glasses. I don't think that. What I do think is this. When the Night of Broken Glass occurred, it was used by the Nazis to further the agenda and the idea, the narrative, that Jewish people were evil and needed to be put in camps, needed to be eradicated from public society. And many people have gotten mad about people who have rightly called this shit out for what it is. This genocidal language. Oh, that's not genocidal. Is it not genocidal until we actually have the camps and they're actually being escorted on trains? Is it not genocidal until cis people like myself and you and others are having to hide them in our houses? Is that when it becomes a genocide? No. Genocide doesn't start with violent wiping out of entire populations. Genocide starts with things like this. It's a sad day for Indiana trans teens. Indiana's legislature has fully passed a gender-affirming care ban for trans youth. It is the 12th state to do so. The bill now heads to the governor's desk. It even bans aiding and abetting care. It's so cruel. My trans siblings that I mentioned before, luckily, are 18 and 19. But if you think that this is actually going to stop at 18, 19, no. There are people pushing further to say things like, oh, well, really, it should be banned up until you're 21 or you're 25 or blah, blah, blah. And you can look at that and you can say, that's not going to happen. Yeah? Well, that's the same thing you said when they said, oh, they're just banning it for the kids. Adults can still get it. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Just protecting the kids, right? My favorite person in the world. Massive sarcasm there. Ron DeSantis administration moves to expand Don't Say Gay law in Florida. Specifically, let's find it here. The amendment put forth by the State of Education Department would expand the ban of instruction of sexual orientation or gender identity to students beyond pre-kindergarten through third grade. For grades 4 through 12, such instruction will be prohibited unless expressly required by state academic standards or as part of a reproductive health lesson, i.e., they're not going to fucking do it. For which a student's parent has the option to have their child opt out. Guys, I grew up in Florida, still live here, and I've wanted to get out ever since I've been here. But I remember when we had human growth and development, because we couldn't call it sex ed, God forbid. I remember when we had that class, we would be given these papers that we had to take home to our parents. And if our parents didn't want us to be in the class, they would sign the form, give it back, we'd give it to the teacher, telling them, my parents don't want me here. And when science class would shift to human growth and development, they would basically, from my understanding, have the students go to study hall. They got to just chill, work on other assignments, whatever they needed to do, really. But they missed out on such a crucial aspect. One of the most important things you can learn, need to learn. Sexual health and wellness. How to do things like properly use birth control. And yes, the education, especially sex education here in Florida, is fucking awful. God, I remember I didn't learn about methods of birth control other than condoms or the pill until I Googled it myself and learned about like IUDs and the sponge and the rod that can be put in your arm and all that stuff. They didn't talk about any of that. I think the teachers that I had did do the best they could. And I think in general, for the curriculum they had to work with, I think my teachers were pretty all right. I think I was pretty fortunate in that regard. But it's terrible. And DeSantis and the right in general is really trying to throw us back to, like, I won't say the 1800s, but like the early 1900s. You get me? There have been people seriously advocating for things like only landowning people should have the right to vote. It's like, oh, you mean what we started with, that we fought for, and now people without land can vote, and women can vote, and minorities can vote, and you just want to really roll the clock back. It really is terrifying. This is genocidal. The way that people are talking about trans people openly about things like this and using horrible, horrible crimes that people like this person did to justify their hatred for trans people in general is absolutely disgusting. The person who committed this crime was sick. They needed help. Clearly, they didn't get that help. And they lashed out in a horrible way. But they're not representative of all trans people. But the right wants you to think that. Get used to seeing headlines like this and tell me that it doesn't line up with the way the Nazis talked about the Jews. It's getting real bad. Getting real bad. I really don't know what else to say. If more information comes out about this, you guys want me to, I will discuss it. But I certainly don't want to use something like this for clout or any shit like that. I just wanted to talk about this because I know that having somebody that you value the opinion of talking about these things and empathizing, I know how helpful that can be. I have a friend who they were listening to the Howard Stern radio show, and he got them through the horrors of 9/11. And I know I'm not, I don't have a huge following or anything, but I feel like I had a responsibility to talk about this. So, I am. And if you want me to continue doing so, I will. Until then, these are my thoughts. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below. Follow me on social media for more. Links in the description below. Subscribe and ring the bell to stay up to date. Leave a like if you like, and if not, I hope you find something to do like. Please take care of each other out there, both in real life, in the comments, online, everywhere. Later, guys. Peace and love.